You absolutely have to know these 10 things before dating an Enneagram Type 2. If you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Abby, and this is my channel all about helping you discover you. If you're new here, join the club, subscribe. I put out new videos every single week. Starting with number 10. When I asked on my Instagram stories, what do twos and partners of twos, what kind of advice do you have for people who want to be in a relationship with a two? And I got this response that I loved, and I think it deserves amplification. It said, we need many affirmations. If you had a good time, tell us specifically what was good. A Type 2's strength is using encouragement and praise to inspire and motivate. But the dirty little secret that's really not dirty, and it's not really a secret, is that twos have trouble saying affirmations to themselves. Really good at giving it to other people, not so good at saying nice things to themselves. So giving them positive affirmation, positive specific affirmation is really important when you're dating or in a relationship with a Type 2. Number 9, I'm hearkening back to ye old proverb, when you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me. So don't do it. It basically comes down to this: don't take them for granted. If a Type 2 has offered to do something in the past, that doesn't automatically mean that they are forever your airport picker-upper or the person who does the dishes after they make the meal. Like, Type 2s are going to reach out and do things to help, but please don't take those acts of kindness and acts of service for granted. Also, don't assume that they want to do everything that you want to do. You need to ask them, like, hey, what's your ideal weekend? Like, what does that look like for you? Number 8, when I do corporate learning workshops about the Enneagram and leadership, this is my number 1 technique for dealing with conflict with a Type 2, and I call it the sandwich method. You may have heard of it. Basically, when you're coming in with an issue or criticism or something, you start with the bread, which is affirmation, and then the meat, which is the issue at hand or the constructive criticism, and then the bread again, which is more affirmation. So it is in a sandwich, so it is less aggressive, and it has like a hug on both sides. Sandwiches are so delicious, and I love them. So yeah. I thought this Instagram reply kind of summed it up. Says, we need a lot of reassurance, especially in conflict. One fight feels like I ruined it. So be warm and affectionate when giving feedback. Use an encouraging tone. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Number 7, it's important to know what it looks like when the person you're dating is on the defensive. That way, you're aware that they may need extra love or support in your partnership. Type 2's defensive mechanism is, drumroll please, repression. And basically what that means is Type 2s want to avoid the bad, uncomfortable feelings. So because of that, they will repress their desires, their needs, their longings, and just try to ignore them, and that they don't exist. They're not there. I'm repressing it. The belief there is, if I don't acknowledge this need, then the need doesn't exist and I have complete control over the situation. That's how it works. Type 2s have the uncanny ability to walk into a room and see all the millions of needs that everybody else has, but when they look inwards, they see their needs, but they're afraid they're gonna go unmet, and so they ignore them. Number 6, somewhere along the way, Type 2s internalized the message that it's not okay to have your own needs. If you're a partner to a Type 2, it's important that your 2's needs are acknowledged and sought after. Techniques that might help with this is, number 1, pick a time and place for having this conversation with your partner. If, say, your partner is building furniture from IKEA, that's probably not the best time to bring something up and ask them about their needs. That is going to be a very unproductive conversation. So I would pick a time and a place, a calming place, and an intentional time to talk about their needs. And number 2, encourage them to use I statements. If you're going into a conversation saying like, I feel this, or I need this, no one can invalidate your own perspective and what you need. So I think it would be really helpful for it to be a very I statement-led conversation for both parties. Number 5, I did not know this prior to putting this up on my Instagram, but apparently It's important to type 2s that you share your food with them and that you accept the food that they share with you. Like, basically, your plate is not your own. So, you only children and you plate purists out there, set aside your qualms and welcome communal dining experiences with your type 2. Number 4, type 2s are relational to their core. They're the first ones to know who's doing well around the office and who isn't. They're the first to know who is pregnant and who finally hooked up with their crush. They remember things like birthdays and half birthdays and the names of your cats. Long story short, type 2s enjoy spending time with other people. And seeing as you are in a relationship with them or hoping to be, spending time with you is of the utmost importance, like more than anyone else in their life. So honor plans when you make them. Bailing at the very last minute is like the ultimate snub for a type 2. Just don't do it. Number 3, little unexpected things go a long way for type 2s. For example, bringing a surprise coffee in the middle of the day or filling up their car with gas. Those little reminders of like, hey, I'm thinking about you, I care about your needs. Go do that. Number 2, brush up on the core motivations of a type 2. One thing that makes the Enneagram so special is instead of looking at like behavioral things of like what you do, it looks at why you do the things that you do. We could all go to college, but not all of us are going to college for the same reason. There's lots of different whys that are going into that decision. So the core motivations we look at in the Enneagram are these 4 things: your core fear, your core desire, your core weakness, and your core longing. The core fear of a type 2 is being rejected or unwanted. And the belief there is, if I make myself indispensable to other people, then they're always gonna need me because I've made myself indispensable to other people. And that's all getting at that core fear of like, I don't wanna be rejected, so I'm just gonna make myself vitally important to everybody in my life. This could manifest as people pleasing or not having boundaries or inserting yourself into other people's lives. The desire of a type 2 is to be appreciated, loved, and wanted. Like I said, type 2s are relational from the top of their head to the tips of their toes. They genuinely want the people in their lives to be cared for, and they want you to return the favor to them. The core weakness of a type 2 is pride. And stop before you go there. I know what you're thinking, but Abby, type 2s are the most selfless people I have ever met. Well, where the pride comes in is type 2s look at everyone else's needs and say, those are way more important than my own needs. In fact, I don't have any needs. I'm fine. I've got everything under control, but I can help control your lives and your needs. And a type 2's core longing is to know that they are wanted and loved regardless of how they are serving other people. Like, even if you took the whole day to focus on yourself and get your own priorities done, you are still wanted, appreciated, and loved. And finally, number 1, type 2s are incredible partners. As I'm sure you've gathered from this video so far, they are genuine, they are nurturing, they are filled with love and appreciation for other people. They love living life. They are the ultimate, person to welcome people into their home. What's that word? Host. They're the ultimate host. Type 2s are really good at building communities. So if you're dating or married to a type 2, you know that there is going to be a strong community of people around you to hang out with, to go through trials with, to joyfully celebrate with. 2s are really good at making a family out of a diverse group of people. Please comment below what your favorite thing about your type 2 partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, coworker, whatever. We want to know, what are the things that you love about the type 2s in your life? Shout out to the patrons who support this channel, especially our 2 newest patrons, Joe and Alexandra. For more videos just like this, I've made a whole playlist. It is right here. And if you want to watch what YouTube thinks you'll like, you can click right here. I will see you in the next video.